sometimes I wonder, oh, it's so weird. Why is he or she thinking like this? And why can they just not understand me? And I cannot really understand, and I feel sometimes annoyed in the very beginning of my career. And how I can get in touch with my engineers and we can speak the same language. I would say the secret or the key is that you really work with them daily, so closely, and you go to the shop floor. But my origin or my major is actually language.
Yes.
So translation, interpretation was my major.
Have you ever thought of like studying engineering, or maybe like the qualification that you have, you see that it has some, there's some relatability with what you're doing or what you would be like in the future? Welcome back to Career and Corporate Hub. Today I've got my very first guest from Asia, my very first Asian guest, Joan. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
How would I say your name? The reason why I ask about names, it's because the pronunciations are very different.
Exactly. So my name is also very confusing, especially in a European environment. So the pronunciation is like Juan. So in Chinese, we pronounce it as Juan. Yeah, the meaning is a beautiful lady.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, like for Spanish, it's like Juan, and it's actually a man's name. Yeah, so it's very confusing, especially for my German colleagues or people from Europe. Yeah, but you can call me Juan.
I'm sure, like when people don't see your picture on the email, they say hello, sir, from Europe.
Exactly, like, this kind of story happens. Very often, actually.
So welcome to Career and Corporate Hub. I'm so honored to be interviewing you. I would like you to introduce yourself to my guests. Who is Joan?
Hello everyone, greeting from my side. So my name is Juan, as introduced by Kodani. I'm very happy to be here in this channel. Actually, it's also my first time to be in YouTube channel. I know you have this YouTube and also in maybe Instagram as well, TikTok, and your next station, I believe, could be the WeChat, like a video, etc. Yeah,
Spotify.
Exactly. So very glad to be here. So right now we are colleagues in the automobile industry. Well, I have been in this industry for 12 years. Actually, I started with accidentally I joined one interview, and I wanted to have another position from another university, actually. Then I was introduced to the Peugeot and Citroën company, and I got a position as a kind of assistant to the COO. Yeah, and I started my career in this company. And like 4 or 5 years later, I knew my boyfriend at that time and husband right now, and he's born in Beijing, so we moved to Beijing. And very luckily, I was able to join to Mercedes-Benz as a project manager. So I had 2 positions in. One is in the strategic project, and then after 5 years in this department, I changed to PP, also as a project manager, but for a more like a technical world, more related to the process planning world. Yeah. So basically, this is my journey, and personally, I have 1 kid and have been married for around 10 years already.
How old are you? I'm just like 10 years.
Yeah, let's not tell this in front of the audiences. We can gossip afterwards. Yes. Yeah. So nice to meet you again, and also the audiences.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm like really shocked about your age because, I mean, when I see you in the office, you look very, very young. But to be married for 10 years, I'm like, how old were you when you got married?
I think it's nowadays more and more difficult to really tell the age of the ladies. Yeah, especially when a European or a Western country, people want to tell the age of the Asian. It's quite difficult. But I have to say, it's nice to hear that you say that I'm looking younger than I'm actually is, and I also have some embarrassing stories from other colleagues. Yeah, like 5 years ago, he told me, you look you look like 35 or 36 years old, and that's much older than I was at that period of time.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But thank you.
Looking at you, you really look very young, but knowing you from work and also like seeing you in different spaces, the confidence is like, oh wow, she's very confident. She's very like, you know, like the way you carry yourself, it's quite impressive as well. And then it sort of like makes one question whether you're young or like, you know, the age. So yeah. And I would like to also touch on, you were you born and raised in Hong Kong?
Not really.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell me your, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm asking because there was a time where we were talking, I was going to Hong Kong, and
Yeah.
you said like also like something about your
Yeah.
home country. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say I was born in the central or the south area of China, which is called Jiangxi province.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually like close to Shanghai. It's like a 5 or 6 hour drive from my hometown to Shanghai. And in my childhood, like I grew up over there until I was 16 years old. And then later on, I was registered for the university. And at the same time, my family was moving from my hometown to Shenzhen. Yeah, which is a city very close to Hong Kong. Yeah, so I have to say I have experienced a lot of movements from my childhood and until now. So I changed from my hometown to Shenzhen, and then also had an exchange to Taiwan. And then nowadays I'm in Beijing. So I'm a very dynamic people. I had experienced a lot of relocation right now. Yeah.
And how has that shaped you in your career? I mean, you work for an international company, you work with a lot of foreigners.
Yes.
So how has that shaped your experience, like your career experience and also your personal growth?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, moving a lot. How has that shaped you?
I would say from my personal experience, I'm used to changes. I'm very adaptable to different environments. So actually, in my childhood, I didn't really grow up together with my parents. So due to the special situation in my family, I have 2 sisters and 1 brother. And my parents have to raise up such a big family by moving and working somewhere else, far away from the hometown. Yeah, so I was growing up quite independently with my sisters and brothers, and I do not really used to rely on anybody. Yeah, I more rely on myself, and I'm more used to like adapt myself to the environment around me. But at the same time, I believe that delivering the best out of myself is always my value. Yeah. So these changes shaped me where I am today, and also working with the foreigners for more than 10 years in my career. So I've always been working in a foreign company from Sichuan and now to MB. I actually experienced different culture, and in the beginning, it's quite difficult for me to change myself and to think in the way that the Western people think about. And sometimes I wonder, it's so weird. Why is he or she thinking like this? And why can they just not understand me? And I cannot really understand, and I feel sometimes annoyed in the very beginning of my career. And I'm a person actually a combination of the Chinese side and the Western side after this flexibility or adaptation. So I actually sometimes with the Chinese side, I do not like arguing. I do not like really explain myself. Yeah. But on the other hand, I'm also very open-minded, and I like embrace new ideas. So I would say working with a group of foreigners in this international environment shaped me to a level that I'm able to adapt myself to different situations, and I'm combining the Chinese and Western side together in myself.
That's actually a great overview, because it can definitely be challenging. I mean, for us, when we come to China as foreigners, we have to also adapt to a lot of things, a lot of, like working style, communication.
Yes.
And it's not easy in the beginning. So now I'm just like thinking, for you, it's not just the Western, it's like foreigners coming from different places. You've got foreigners from India, now from South Africa, from Germany, from USA.
Definitely.
So it's literally like a whole different dynamic. And
Yes.
I can just imagine from being raised in a culture where everything seems quite direct, like also the way of working is also very different.
Yeah.
Like where the Western, sometimes things can be very playful.
Yeah.
And then on your side, it's like completely different. So like when you're explaining it, that you have to like be open-minded, it's like, okay, I see.
Yeah,
I see
exactly.
now.
So
Yeah.
it's more for me in the career environment. I see the common target between me and my colleagues, and at the same time, I really try, or it is one of my passion to develop some personal relationship among me and my colleagues. So sometimes in China there is saying that do not treat your colleagues like friends. Yeah. To sometimes protect ourselves, because once we apply a lot of true emotion with people around you, and for sure if they are not applying the same level of emotion, then you get a risk of being hurt one day, right? But that is not something that I would hold myself back for. I still believe that you can be friends with your colleagues, and you must have some joy and fun out of your work. And that's why I always first of all get along with people, and before we really can work out a topic from the daily business. So I also enjoyed a lot with my colleagues every day that I'm working with. So like having a video shooting with you, and also another example is that I'm going to have a colleague who is leaving the project very soon, leaving China very soon. So after like 3 years of working together, me and him, we are already friends, very good friends. And it brings me a lot of sorrow thinking about his leaving, but also always I'm looking back at the good memories, and always believe in the future we will cross our path again. Because only with this good relationship and friendship, then you are motivated, that you are willing to hold your colleagues up as well, in the same way that you are held up by them.
So and you could also use that as your network. Maybe you want to go to their country to work, then you've got that connection. I saw like the way you were also planning like a farewell a party for another colleague that's leaving. We leave a lot.
A lot, yes.
So I was like, this is very nice, because I mean, a lot of colleagues have left my department, but we've never had like something huge where we're like putting something together. I mean, when he sees this video, he will be gone, the colleague that I'm talking about. So we're not disclosing, like, I mean, not jinxing it, yes. But now I want to know, what is that one thing that, the Western culture like do at work, which is very, very irritating for you, for lack of a better word? For you. Where
You mean
just
irritating?
Like, yes, in a way that it's so different from the Chinese culture.
I would say the most obvious one that I can observe after like working together with people from other countries for so many years, that is for sure the way how we express ourselves. I would say Chinese people, very often we are more reserved. And we do not really speak out so directly, and sometimes to a level that we expect others would understand naturally. But for sure, among Chinese people, this can be the case. When you say something, I get you perfectly, even though you do not speak it out and so directly. But with the foreigner colleagues, I would say they express themselves quite directly, right? And I would say it's a process that we need to get along with each other, understand how the others are communicating. I can share with you one example that once in a morning meeting with my colleague, a Chinese colleague, I was sharing with them one thing that I'm not so satisfied about, and I'm sharing very directly about how I think this topic can be pushed through, because nowadays my way of thinking is exactly very Western already, so I express myself always quite directly. And I can see, okay, in the faces of my colleague, he is like a little bit hesitating, yeah, but not rejecting me directly. And later on, I realized actually this topic was not pushed through at all in the way I was suggesting, yeah, because he was not buying, yeah, and only really by moving the people's mind and the root of the way how they are thinking, then we would be able to really influence the people. So I would say working in China for a foreigner colleague, I would say this is the key if we want to make an influence and like change in the way how people are working. Yeah, and the same for us. We also need to be direct when we communicate with you guys or you ladies. So that you can get it fully and we can move the topics forward, because communication in the end is very, very important.
Yeah, so case by case, like, okay, this is like a foreigner and the culture is like this, therefore I will treat them the way, you know, I mean, like the norm.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's actually like, I love that, you know, I love it when you say that, because I'm also learning how to behave like in front of my Chinese colleagues, because it can also be tricky that you communicate your message the way you're used to, yet you're not communicating it directly, or rather the perception then is received differently when you're thinking that, well, this is what I'm saying, you must see it the way I'm saying it. Yeah. And how has your navigation been, looking at what you've studied? Let's touch on that first. You've studied, okay, tell us what you've studied. Yeah,
actually right now I'm in an engineering world, right? And I'm in this automobile industry for 12 years, but my origin or my major is actually language. So translation, interpretation was my major. So I was like learning, or my major was the English-Chinese interpretation. And also on top of that, I had second language of Japanese. And nowadays I'm learning German. So I would say languages, it was basically my interest. And when I chose my major for university, I chose to be aligned with my interest. So, and that was providing me some communication channels and tools, and was helpful for my daily communication to push forward my business. So,
you know, moving from your stream of language, and now you're in engineering. How was that like? And I'm thinking, for me, I studied in engineering, and when I'm in a space where they're talking, like they're using the jargons that I understand, it's like more exciting. But for you, tapping now into like being in an engineering department, and I mean, your department is not just like simple engineering. We're talking about high-end technology, robots, like I'm sure the language that is also used there, probably don't understand it. How was it like for you?
I mean, it was a dynamic process for me. In the beginning, it was super tough and difficult, and sometimes I lost my mind. So, and I just cannot figure out how I can do that. And then to a certain level, you find a joy and you find a lot of fun working with engineers. You get in touch with different way of working, different way of thinking. And so I would say it's a very interesting and precious experience for me to work in my current project, current area. So in the beginning, I was asked. So when I just joined the current team, I was asked to by my boss to say, okay, can you like get in touch with one engineer and you ask for a topic, and then I go to that engineer, ask him, hey, can you share with me this? And he said, what do you mean by this? And it's a lot of things behind this concept. Do you mean this, or that? So I was like, overwhelmed. I would sense,
Yes.
am I so like dummy, so dumb that I cannot really even ask my questions well?
Yeah.
So that was my level of the beginning phase when I was entering this team. And then I had a lot of reflections, and I think about how I can get myself out of it. And how I can get in touch with my engineers and we can speak the same language. I would say the secret or the key is that you really work with them daily, so closely, and you go to the shop floor because my project is very shop floor intensive. So you go to the shop floor, you visit their stations, you visit their equipment, you understand their technology. So even though you cannot really help sometimes, but by doing so, you are showing your respect to your colleagues regarding what they are delivering every day. Yeah. And on the other hand, you show your curiosity to what they are doing every day, and your willingness to support, to contribute. So I would say by doing so, you would be able to gain a level of trust and also a level of acceptance to a world that you have never been to. Yeah, for sure. This is one leverage. Another one I would be very happy that I applied is that I support people. Yeah, so I do not like stand out of the circle far away and say, okay, do this, do that. But I try to get integrated into this field, and I understand, okay, what kind of support I can provide to you. Then by doing so, the trust level can be even more elevated, and then you are more and more integrated to an area you've never been to. So looking back at the past 3 years, I feel it's a precious journey, and it's something already carved in me, into my DNA. And so, I'm so excited whenever I talk about this experience, and I think it's really a big takeaway that I'm able to work so closely with engineers. I'm super proud of where I am today right now.
I was literally surprised when I saw your qualification. I actually thought you studied engineering. I'm sure you saw like with my first email, and then I was like asking engineering, because I was just under the impression that you studied engineering. And I'm also interested to know, like, you in a project coordination role, you don't have the engineering degree. Now you are leading like this project. You're expecting the engineers to deliver within a specific timeline. Isn't there like some rejection when you like asking for feedback and also the timelines? Isn't there like rejections where it feels like, well, you're just taking our work and go present it while we're in the background? Like, how do you navigate that also?
For sure, I would say that the question is super valid, and the answer is definitely yes in certain circumstances, and it's also a kind of evolution of your capability and how you deal with the topics. So I would say in the beginning, the very important leverage is that you would be able to speak the same language with your engineers. The language doesn't mean English or Chinese, but the vocabulary and the words that they are using in their engineering world. So you have to get those vocabulary by continuous learning. By visiting the shop floor, by understanding their knowledge. So I would say this is really a very important foundation. So this set up a advantage for you gradually, that you would be able to talk with each other. You would be able to understand them, and they do not need to really explain to you a lot of details. And then it's more efficient for the both parties to bring forward one topic. So I still remember in the beginning, my planners, my engineers look into my eyes, and you can feel, okay, they spend a lot of effort to let you understand, but you are not on that level, right? So you need to spend time to make yourself a higher level in terms of the technical understanding.
What I'm judging is also like you need to be patient, because I've had a lot of, I do career consultations. I hear a lot of female engineers talking about being undermined by their colleagues, and I'm not sure for you, you were able to have the patience, because then you feel like, okay, this is not my space and I would like to learn it and understand it, that then it gave you that patience. Was that also the drive, or it's just like who you are, where you understand that, you know, I think you spoke a lot about being able to adapt, which then it like answers the question, I think.
I mean, patience is for sure, it's needed. Patience is very important for yourself, for growth, and also for cultivating a relationship with your colleagues, right? And I just remember that one question I didn't answer yours, that is about, do I get some rejection from people, right? And how do I deal with standing in front of the like maybe management and presenting something was being done by others. So actually, I never thought it should be this way. I actually always encourage the people, the engineers. They deliver what they are delivering. They present what they have delivered. So I would always continue in doing so, because I believe who did the job and then should be the one present the result to the other people. But for sure, due to the nature of my job, I have very often to present the result of a common collaboration. And I would have to say, sometimes it's a good thing that I'm presenting. So very often I can say I bear the reputation out of the whole team, but also there are chances or occasions that I'm presenting something not so good. And in this case, I also need to bear, right? Like the doubt, and also maybe sometimes the criticism out of the environment. Why it is being done so. So in this role, in my project coordinator role, I have to bear good things and bad things. I have to be super open that both directions will come to me. Yeah.
And have you ever thought of pivoting, like to study engineering and you qualify like as an engineer? Because I mean, that's like your career trajectory, I think, right now. I mean, looking at where you are in the company and also just how you, that's what I see.
Yeah.
Without saying much, that's what I see. Have you ever thought of like studying engineering, or maybe like the qualification that you have, you see that it has some, there's some relatability with what you're doing or what you would be like in the future?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm a little bit regretful regarding my major. Yeah, so the reason is that I do believe language is a tool. It does not necessarily to be a major. Yeah, and the reason why I was in this translation interpretation major, I believe is also caused by the limit of my perspective back to the time I was in the high school. If I would be able to have a chance again to choose which area that I would like to focus on in the university, I would say maybe economics or marketing. This kind of more extrovert directions, and also like business analysis. So this kind of direction that I would be very interested in.
Not even engineering.
I would say engineering. That is something that I'm very interested in, but I wouldn't say comparing with the marketing or business analysis, this kind of commercial related topics. I'm less talented in engineering, to be very honest. But in the end, for me, no matter which knowledge I'm learning, I do not limit myself on a major. I always believe if you are willing to spend the time, you would be able to grab the knowledge. More important is your mindset. You are super open-minded to expand your areas outside of your major, and you do not limit yourself to what you are doing. Yeah, so you can do everything. I do believe so.
I'm struggling with Chinese. I've got a
you
Chinese
can do
teacher,
it,
but
actually.
it's so hard.
To be honest, you
and
would
so you're
master
learning
it.
German? Tell me how you're learning German.
Yeah, I mean,
Every morning we just assume that you're learning German because we see, like, when we arrive at work, we find her locked in an office writing, and you're just like, she could be learning German. Is that the truth? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, that is what is happening.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, like the frequency is not exactly so frequent as last year. So I try to find myself some time on German now every day, like 1 hour per day, because besides the morning time, I do not really have chances. So during the daytime is working time, and after work it's staying with the family, taking care of the kids, support on the homework, etc. So that is the only chance I would be able to learn German. So the reason why I get it started is I believe language is also a culture.
Yeah.
So learning German, then you know more about German culture. And naturally, I'm also very interested in language. So the third reason is that I want to utilize this leverage to bridge the gap like between China and Germany and get more or be able to understand the first-hand information from Germany. So, but nowadays I have to say everyone's energy is limited. So every morning right now is a combination of recharging myself by learning German, together with the real purpose behind to master the language. Yeah, so I get a lot of relaxation when I learn the vocabulary, the grammar, etc. Yeah, so maybe it's a little bit weird that's how you can get a relaxation from a language learning, but yeah, I have to say that's
really
how
quite
it is.
inspiring because I mean we work for a German company and you see like almost everyone speaking German and also feel like an outsider. So it really inspires me, but yet I'm struggling to learn Chinese and still finding my ways to communicate with my suppliers. But we deliver the results.
So you have the Chinese courses on?
I do, and sometimes when the work is too much, I ask my teacher to like, can we skip a month and then we'll continue? Yeah, I mean, relocating to another country, it's like a lot on its own. And then now the work, you know, like different milestones, sometimes they pick up where you really are required in, like probably maybe if we've got units in production or trial units, like you must be there physically. So sometimes it's draining. So now I just try to choose where I want my energy at instead of just like doing everything. Yeah. So it really has been a challenge for me.
I mean, it's also very inspirational what you are doing. You are an engineer. You deliver the project, and at the same time you are working mom, and also you are making this channel. So I mean, this channel is also quite inspirational, and I have to say this is something that I always want to do as well.
You must
do some side job, and that brings you some inspiration. But I mean, in the end, it's energy management, right? So enjoy the things that we are doing, and sometimes we have to sacrifice certain things. We cannot cover everything.
That's
true.
Kind.
That's true.
I mean, like, honestly, this really fills my cup. So when work is tough and I come out of work, I do this, like the next morning my cup is full.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
But I must make time for my Chinese lesson. I would also like to. We are about to conclude, and I would also like to find out any.
Oh, time flies.
It does. Right? We've really been talking.
Yeah.
Like what was your impression with females in engineering? I mean, there aren't a lot in the office. Yeah. But what was your impression?
I have to say, we are great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Female engineers are great, intelligent, talented, but it's a tough job, especially in a male world, or more population is from the male, right? In the engineering world, we need to get through a lot of things. Yeah, actually, I didn't really think about the equality between man and woman in this world. But I have to say, in my daily work, I sometimes experience people look at me and looking at my male colleague differently, yeah. And maybe they wonder how this little lady, the slim one, the little shaped one, can like stand in front of me saying this, that, and try to steer me, yeah. But they follow more naturally when another taller guy is telling them the same information, yeah. So I have to say, as a working female or a female engineer, we are figuring out our own way to get things forward. And that's definitely not easy. Yeah. Sometimes I have to say, after work, my eyes are full of tears. I believe you also experience the same situation, and a lot of other working ladies. But then, like, after a night's sleep, on the next day morning, we are cheered up again. We are refreshed again. And we go to the battlefield, delivering whatever we should deliver. We do the job well. So I have to say, give ourselves a lot of respect, yeah, and just enjoy the way that we are doing, but to keep a high level of resilience, resistance, keep our way, continue, yeah, no matter what is happening around us.
Yeah. Being in a technical environment, motherhood, wifehood, how do you navigate like your life around it?
To be honest, I don't think I'm working well on this one. I do not think I'm doing well. I'm a role model of life-work balance. To be honest, in the past years, the work is more dominant in my whole life. And I was like, if this is a leverage, then I'm more to the work loaded compared to a family. So this is something I'm also reflecting. So should be more balanced by utilizing more smart working methodologies. And in the end, family is super important. Yeah. I have to say, I'm so grateful to my family. So to my husband, to my kid, and also to my parents-in-law, to my own parents, to my sisters and brothers. So when I'm in the working environment, and very often my parents-in-law, they are taking care of my son. Yeah. And my husband also shows plenty of support to my career. So with his support, I'm very independent, and I'm having the freedom to pursue the things that I enjoy, yeah, that I have fun from. So I mean, without my family, I wouldn't be able to reach where I am today, having this level of joy in me. Yeah. So I would say having the family support it, but also try our best to support them as well. This is something I should work on more.
That is very great, because it's really not easy to navigate your life when you don't have support, like that supporting structure. And I'm here because my husband is with the kids, so I'm really grateful for that support. Yeah.
Good job.
Yes, I'm
You're
really
doing well.
That's why even like when I sent you a blocker, I'm sure you probably saw his name there. So it's like also that communication that at this time slot, I've got an interview. He also gets the reminders to prepare himself that, okay, I will be stuck with the kids for this amount of hours.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful, and I'm glad that you also mentioned that support structure, because I think a lot of females are also scared of starting a family because they feel like they will be left behind in their career. What would you say about that? What would you say about that?
Yeah, I would say definitely if we compare lady with a man, and the impact from giving birth to a kid and raising the kid in many culture is consuming more energy of a woman. Yeah, and then naturally this also causes some sacrifices in the workforce, right? But in the end, it's a personal choice, and if you want to have certain achievement in the career, and that is something cheer you up, and then for sure you need to find a way still to let the family work, right? By talking very openly to your partner, and also by cultivating a good discipline from your kids, and also by supporting your parents-in-law in different ways, that they are also cheered up, they feel rewarded by doing a lot for your family. So I would say utilize the people and the environment around you. In the end, for sure, navigate it by where you want to achieve for yourself. Yeah.
That is so profound. So, Joan, we've come to the end of the podcast. Any last words to my guests?
Hello, everyone. So I would say thank you so much for listening to me and Kodani for so long. And I'm so grateful that I'm getting this chance to have an open talk about the career topic and also the working mom, working woman topic. I hope that all the ladies who have an inspiration at work would enjoy what you are doing and would enjoy the happiness that you are generating for yourself. So I would say using the German word "gib Gas" or 加油 in Chinese.
加油!
Yeah, 加油. So for ourselves, yeah. So all the best to all of you from my side.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for honoring the invite. Your journey is definitely inspiring. The shop floor. Do not be scared of going to the shop floor.
Yes.
If you want to learn. I think that's like the key message that I got, navigating your career in a space where you're not really so comfortable, or you want to learn and become more confident. So thank you so much.
Thank you.